Going live. All right, we're live.
It's all about expression. You only live once and you're not coming back.
We're live. It's all about expression. I should say we do not own the rights to this.
That's right, Dave.
What year was this? 1980s, right? At least 1990s. 90s. Wow, look at that video, MTV. Get it?
Look, got it, buddy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. Oh, wow. Thursday. And we are live, as we always like to say, with Top Chat Recruiter. I call her three different names, KG, Mimi, and Kirsten Gregg. So, Kirsten, good morning, and it's turned over to you. What are we going to talk about today in the world of staffing?
So we're going to talk about LinkedIn today. Because I'm having some LinkedIn issues in terms of like them hiding my content. Before we went live, you talked about how they were, maybe hiding some of your connections.
Yeah.
And let's get into that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and get us onto a watch party.
You're figuring all that out.
I'm trying.
Watch party, here we come. Look out.
It's not working. Oh, man.
It's okay. Man. It's all right. That's the great thing about being live.
Take your time.
Oh, there we go.
Take your time. There we go. Nobody's doing anything.
All right. There we go.
All right.
All right.
Now,
so LinkedIn. So I feel like LinkedIn is being a look. Their algorithm is as the young people would say, tripping right now. They are definitely not a fun place for professionals. Well, for me, I'm going to say right now, they're just not a fun place right now. There's a lot of toxicity. There's a lot of negativity. Mm-hmm. I see that my posts that have the Tiffany said, told me to get it together. I'm not doing this with her today. Now she made me lose my train of thought. Anyway, okay. I see like my posts with the most engagement seem to be from people who just want to come and argue with me, that want to dispute the things that I say, that want to be rude and negative. Mm-hmm. It's not my first level connections. It's the second and the third who, like, you literally took the time to come onto my profile just to argue with me, call me names, tell me how stupid I am, tell me how to be a professional, how to be a recruiter, and how, who's hiring you, you shouldn't be doing this, that kind of stuff. And, I got to the point where I just started, like, I'm not arguing with folks anymore. I don't have the, I don't have the emotional or mental bandwidth right now, with what all's going on. So I'm just like, peace and blessings. That's what I say when they want to start that dumb stuff. I just say peace and blessings.
It probably shuts it down.
It does, but there's a particular situation. I'm not going to call the person out because I don't have permission to. But there is someone who is a heavily engaged LinkedIn recruiter, LinkedIn user, and there was someone who literally doxed her, and you guys know what doxing is, right?
Yep.
Oh,
so it's basically when you like give someone's personal information so that other people can attack them. That's the simplest way. So this person that's completely unhinged created a hashtag with this person's first and last name, contacted the company that she works for, went on to those third-party rating sites and gave negative comments about this person and about the company, saying no one should be employed there, called her out of her name. Like, it's just, and this happened, I think this was, my days are all messed up, but it was like in the past few days. It might have been Sunday afternoon because I remember I had a little time, and I went into the system because she sent it to me via Twitter, and I went into that third party site and I made a comment. But like, to create an actual like hashtag with someone and to create like a fake, and then this person, she she stayed above board as far as I'm concerned. Like I probably would have cussed everybody out. But you know how she retaliated? It was, Tiffany says it was just this week. She bought the domain of the hashtag. And I think that I said that's the boss. No. That's some boss stuff. So someone made a hashtag that says staffing shark sucks. And then you, Rich, go and buy staffing shark sucks domain so that they can't do anything with it. Like I think that's the
so are we, what's the purpose of this whole thing? I mean, they must all feel good about themselves. So
I know, but at some point, I mean, especially as recruiters, we have feelings, we have feelings too. We understand what it takes to get a job. We understand the emotional labor that it takes. We know that, but why do you have to be abusive towards us when we didn't do anything but exist or state our opinion about something? And a lot of times it wasn't even the opinion that was being challenged. It was facts. It's facts. It's people who are uneducated who want to shape narratives to fit their own agenda and make themselves feel better. So yeah, and LinkedIn allowed this. This is circling back. LinkedIn allows this person to literally be attacked all day long, and I'm just like, you know what? I get it because it brings a lot of people to LinkedIn, and and it's a thing because everybody's there, and people are being entertained by this. But honestly, and this isn't me personally, but I would not be cool with that. I would. I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not here for you to consume me. So they need to put a stop to it. The third party site, a lot of us asked them to take that down. They didn't remove those negative comments. Thankfully, LinkedIn did ban the person from the site. But like I said, that was the most extreme as of late instance that just this one person experiences. But like I said, it's all day long, it's constant. And people talk about it like I said, like it's a joke. They're like, oh, I just come to your page to read stuff because it's so funny. No, that's not funny. No, at some point you internalize those things. At some point you go and you think about that. I've been attacked at work, where someone has been this close, yelling in my face.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was the reception, we were in the lobby area, and it was the receptionist who, de-escalated the situation and made sure that person, was removed from the building, called security, all that. It wasn't the other folks who were in there. No, and what do I do? Do I hit this guy? No, because I'm going to jail.
You call the shark. I'll be your bodyguard. Let me know.
But you know what happens when your adrenaline doesn't come out? Mm-hmm. So now I'm angry because I'm like, I can't hit this guy. I can't even hit him. I can't kick him in the golden area. I can't do any of that, because if I do, then it's then I'm at fault. Then it's my fault. And I just I went home that night and I was just like, and to this day, people remember that. To this day, people remember that happened to me. And that wasn't the only time. That wasn't the first time. I would get emails, people cussing me out.
All for recruiting.
All for recruiting. I had a recruiting coordinator who called me racist because I wouldn't give her work. She said, you're I literally they did an HR investigation, literally. And the thing was, my boss called me the night before, and was like, listen, I know this isn't true. He's like, I know that the things that she's alleging are not true. And by the way, this person was on a PIP. This person was not a good worker. And that is the reason why I did not give her my offer letters. That is the reason why I did not ask her to, to schedule interviews for me. It's because she was not a good worker. Not because I'm Black and she was not, and she was white. That's not the reason. And she was this had gotten to the point where she would I would go to hand her something, she would snatch it from me. she was like, they were behind they were in like the file room for some reason, and they had a door and remember those old offices that had like a door with the open window so you could come up and like ask questions
halfway through it. Oh my God.
Well, when you're in the file room, people could come and request their employee file. So she was there and like she would slam that door, and I'm just like, these people are nuts. Wow. I'm like, this is nuts. And again, although I know that I'm not racist, although I know that, by definition, I can't be racist.
I'll try. You keep going. You keep going, girl.
Right. Give it all out.
Get it out.
As ridiculous as it was, the fact that was put out there, the fact that is now something that was attached to me, the fact that that's something that I had to defend and like even speak on, like to me, like that was ridiculous. That like that's just and it bothered me. I'm not going to pretend that it didn't. Like I said, I think she's a completely useless waste of a meat suit. But like it was just horrible. It's a
meat suit.
Yeah,
I'll learn that word later.
Dave, we are getting new terminology today.
Yeah,
some other words.
I'd like to point to the fact that my name is spelled correctly today.
All right, Steve, I want you to Google that word this morning. And Steve's in Utah right now, Elwood. You Google that word, Steve, and we'll follow up with you.
Exactly, man. But
so Rich, I mean, you're out in the street, literally in the street. Helping folks get jobs. Have you ever had an experience with a candidate who was just extremely aggressive towards you and kind of made you think maybe this isn't the right thing for me to be doing? Like maybe recruiting isn't all it's cracked up to be.
You know what? I'm going to say my whole career, only one time ever. Everybody embraces me. I think it's that I make them feel like if they're angry, they're going to be happy. I only had one time when I was a branch manager. The gentleman came in and said he wanted his check on Thursday. I said, you only get it on Friday. And he got real smart with my, recruiters. I come out of the back. And I say, you're going to have to get off the premises. Well, he pumped his chest. I said, well, you're either going to come off. I'm going to call the cops and escort you off. So I took him outside. He jumped in his car, sent me an email and said, hey, nice car. The car I drove at the time, nice car. Wait till you see what's going to happen to it later. So I called him up. And I said, and I just responded back and says, you will not do anything to my car. The cops will be notified. He comes the next day, cussing and all that kind of stuff. Got his check.
And then he's fired, right?
And I kind of was nice about it, but I was like, dude, remember what you're saying because it's going to come back to haunt you. And I gave him them evil eyes. He comes back the next day and he says, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Can I buy you lunch and all this stuff? Because at the end, the last time, he did not leave the premises. I made him get off. The cops had to come. And I told him, I said, you either get off or I'm physically going to take you off here. You can't be calling my recruiters the bad names. I mean, they're calling them from racial names to female bad names. I mean, it just, because you didn't get your check on Thursday. But that was the only situation I ever had. I'll be honest with you, on the streets right now, I've seen so many people that's just embracing everything we can offer them right now. It's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm sorry that situation happened, but yeah, like I can point to a good number of instances. Like some things are kind of scary. Dave, do you think that sometimes we put too much responsibility and too much accountability on recruiters and how they're supposed to manage situations that they really are not either trained for or shouldn't even be a part of? Like do you feel like there's sometimes that we're asked and tasked with, or even take it upon ourselves to do more than what's in our job description?
Well, that brings up like the stories that everybody has. Is I believe the recruiters need to have some type of a training, because when we were at the branch one time, a gentleman came in. Let me tell you, we interviewed him. Such a nice guy, very polite. He left. All of a sudden, he come back in 5 minutes later. He was beat up, his face. He was saying, hey, the other guy that was in here before, they jumped out of their car and they just started hitting him. We're like, what? I don't even know who it was. So the recruiters had seen the person that he was talking about. Well, the cops were called. They called. I was the branch manager, and I'm like, okay, listen. He's back in the office. The guy that beat the other guy up, he was in the office. The recruiter's going, he's here. I'm like, what do you mean? That's him. I'm like, So I called the cops. I said, listen, I'll be sitting at the table with him. I'm dressed like this. He's dressed like that. And I said, I'm just going to talk with him, knowing that he just beat somebody up and he has something on him. And I'm like, yeah, but what else were you going to do? You had the staff inside the branch and you had us like that. So knowing with this, I'm sitting here, I'm like just talking to the gentleman, nice and calm. I saw all the police come in. The recruiters were scared. Everybody was like, what in the world? They asked the gentleman, they took him out. So long story short, those are the type of kind of training that nobody should have to go through. And even what I did was wrong. It was, but you don't know.
Yeah, well, things do become a safety issue. I mean, look at how much access to information people have these days. You know, like and those things that are online, those things that are happening online could easily come offline. You know, it's not anymore where people would come up to your job because, you know, we've had that. That's why recruiters started taking the address of their their location off because folks would come up and harass them.
You're right.
And do all that. But now, like, someone can literally come into your home.
Yeah.
You know, someone can find out where you live, where your child goes to school, where your parents live. They can, get access to your school records, to your homework history.
That's crazy.
People can find you. So, I don't take these things lightly. A lot of people, let's just talk on the internet. Yeah, but I've been in situations where when the internet wasn't as connected as it is, that people still got to me, to my colleagues, where we had to, have safety precautions that folks wouldn't bother us, in staffing. Women didn't go out into the field by themselves.
No way. No way.
You guys will love this story real quick. In 2014, when I was the first branch manager, my first office, first day I get in there, I'm like, what's these buttons? The recruiters have panic buttons. They hit and it hits 911. We were in a so bad area. I'm thinking, what's going on? It's like, oh yeah, these buttons. If somebody comes in and swears at us like they do every day, you hit the button and the cops show up. I'm like, what kind of job did I take?
Yeah, but it's not good for the company. It's not good for.
No, they don't do that anymore. But that was just even 6 years ago. Look at that. A panic button.
It is, and
for people.
I believe the training has to be. There should be something in place. Either cameras. What should a recruiter do? If you were to walk in, Kirsten, if you were to walk into some branches right now, a scenario, and you wanted just to throw a little scenario and say, audit them. What are you told to do in case of this situation? I guarantee 75-80% wouldn't have no clue, but just say, call the police. That's about it. Because what do you do?
Yeah.
You got to have policies. You got to have policies. Like, everybody needs to know what to do. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's going to work out perfect. But if somebody comes in like that, you need to have a plan, and it has to be executed at least. That's just in my opinion, because I don't want everybody just to run out, or I don't know. Does it make sense?
Yeah, and let's go back to like harassment online. So again, I don't take that lightly. I don't think that should just talk, because we see what happens. Sometimes things escalate, and we can't just discern what someone's actual mental state is, or what they're capable of, or what their breaking point is either. So there has to be more, like when we say, like, I'm being harassed, like. And there's a proven, paper trail, so to speak, of it. Like, those sites should be protecting us too. Like, take it down. And I get it. Like, we tell folks, be discoverable. We tell recruiters, don't be private, because, like, you're a recruiter. You're supposed to be able to talk to people. But I get it. I get why there are recruiters who don't want to have their lives open, or who have, shadow profiles, or who literally stay off social media altogether just because they have to do it use it for work. Like, they don't even want a footprint in that way. And I get that. So I think we need to do better at, maybe within our community, like protecting each other,
I totally agree. I think, real quick, I think society is right now, nobody's held accountable over the years. And now it's stemming where if I say, I have this recruiting method and it happened to me, I have people who says, well, that's not the right way. It's my way. Like, they're all right? Our whole common goal is to find people jobs, but then you get an argument with somebody who says, I'm the better recruiter than you because I have a better method. All methods are good. Why are we even arguing about this? But it happens all the time.
I try not to engage. If I do, I have not engaged. I just don't. The only one I did, Richard, I'll tell you, the only one, Kristen, I did was some gentleman was driving down the road doing a video, but it was a lot. It was live. It was live. So he had it on his dashboard. So whether or not you're driving, whatever, but still he kept looking over. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Pull over or sit in a car, but live driving when you're turning your head. I'm sorry. There are just things like that I think should be pulled down on LinkedIn even, or it could have hurt somebody.
True.
But it's not, but that's the only time I engaged and I shouldn't have. So I went back and I did delete it because I was like, well, I don't want to cause problems. I was like, what's it for me to say what this person's doing? And if I engage, they're going to engage back. So I'm done.
Exactly. I got a question for you, KG. What do you think of the spamming on LinkedIn? Do you think it's getting a little out of control on that?
It is absolutely getting out of control. Like, I don't know if you I know you're on Twitter and you follow me, but and when we follow each other, but they like, I'm trying to get my inbox down. I'm trying to get my connection requests down, but I promise you, I think maybe like a good percentage of them are folks either trying to sell me insurance, trying to get me into their multi-level marketing scheme, asking me to pay to be on their website. No, asking me to pay to, do you want an article feature? Give me $150.
Money.
No. I have again, it's a lot of realtors and finance folks, and I get it. Professional people buy homes. Professional people need insurance. Professional people, I get it, but don't just connect with me just for the sake of, I want to sell you something.
And they don't even know your name. They don't even say your name or say good morning. It's just like, can we sell you something? It's
copying and pasting.
Yep.
And there is a lot of that. There is a lot of that goes on. I think that there should be there's ProFinder and other things. So maybe they should have a place where the folks that are looking for that can go and say, hey,
that would be good. That would be a great idea.
But I don't know.
I had a person selling underwear in Scranton, Pennsylvania. She's like, hey, Dave, how are you? I'm like, hi, for a connection. She said, sells women and men's underwear, and she's from Scranton. So I was just like,
man.
I know. So, hey, what's up? I just was like that. And then she's like, yeah, I know. But then I was just like, oh, come on.
My question is, though, Dave, did you buy any?
No. I blocked her. I reported it because you can tell by the picture. I do report the ones like the Bitcom has slowed down, whatever that was. That seems to have been taking Bitcoin, whatever. I don't know, Bitcom.
Yeah.
There's one with one with an X, with an F too. Forex, I think it's called. Forex? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
There's another one of those type of things out there too that I see a lot. So the way people get me is, I do consultations, and you can go to my website, you can, fill out a form and, schedule a 15-minute call. So I do get weird things where I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know, but there was a guy who's like, yes, I'm looking at what you do about your business, and I think that it aligns. And I'm like, okay. So we jumped on a call because he was constantly. So I'm thinking maybe he wants to partner or collaborate. He's like, I've done this and this, and he was talking in the language ish. So I'm like, okay. So we get on the phone. He's basically like, okay, so. I was like, can you tell me more? Where's your website? I wanted to do some research. What's your website? What services do you offer? What type of people are you hiring? And he's like, oh no, well, if you come to this 30-minute meeting,
here we go.
Like, are you trying to get me to sell prepaid legal? Like,
but
no,
do you report that? Do you report it like a spam or scam? I just block it.
Yeah, just block it. I think the other one is lead generation. Everybody can give you leads. It's spam and crazy. And in our industry, I see so many, I'm not going to mention their names. These clowns, I call them, say, we could do lead generation for staffing, but you look at their profile and they sold limousines before, something like that. Like, how do you even know this industry?
Well, they don't. And I think people take for granted how complex recruiting actually is. They literally think it means putting a butt in a seat, and that is not.
Nah.
And we have discussions about this all the time. I seen a thread yesterday on Facebook where they were like, what should you say on the first call? How many people? And they were saying, well, the first question you should say, how many people do you need? Do you work with a staffing firm? No, you don't even talk about staffing your first call. You get to know them and ask them about their company. That's why HR sometimes just turns staffing firms off, because of people like that.
I would listen to somebody selling property or something if they would have done it in a different way, not property, but insurance. Hey, Dave. And then a little bit of time. Hey, build a relationship, then maybe. But like you said,
I email you every day, Dave. Every day they're going to email you.
Yeah, but I don't even, honestly, like I said, because there are folks out there who actually are looking for my help, or people who are looking to partner with me on something. Like, it takes me a lot. Like, I try to give precedence to people that send messages, but like I said, a high percentage of the messages are these copy and paste from folks that don't align with my business, or who aren't looking for coaching services. So, it puts me behind when there is someone who's coming to my inbox who really needs help. And they're like, hi, I saw you here and blah, blah, blah. And I don't get to them because I got tired of, going to someone's profile, looking and being like, no. I did like 50 in one day, and it was exhausting.
Oh, wow.
It was exhausting. And I'm almost at 300 again. Like,
wow. I mean, I get 10 to 15, not even.
I'll be so glad. Maybe I should just accept them all. Maybe there's the way you can like mass accept, and then maybe I'll get to my limit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get to my limit of LinkedIn connection, so that no one can connect.
Oh, wait a minute. I got it right now. Here you go. I've got 75,000 followers right now. Everybody, 3.2 million. Welcome, everybody. I am here. How many do you need?
And then ask them how many people they're engaged with. One.
One person. But what do you think? I know we're going into longer here, but what do you think? What do you think can be done with LinkedIn to do that? To me, I wish it would be like either keywords, maybe, or they are doing something different. They are, because I'm not seeing some people that I have been following.
Yeah.
I don't like, because I'm like, where are you at? I'm always here. I'm like, no, you're not. I haven't seen you. But then I'm seeing less coaches. I told Rich that last night, like some of the ones that were like saying 15,000 followers, 20,000 followers, they've disappeared on my thread. I don't know why. I'm just saying, what do you believe could be done if you had to say? I mean,
no, we're talking about it right now, like we're on their platform.
I know.
Like, that's some gangster stuff right there. Let's just put that up. That's helping others out daily right there. That's very hood.
Yeah, just a call.
So, we're on their platform talking about them right now, and they like that. So it's like in PR, like any PR is good, is good. Anytime we're talking about them, it's good for them. It's driving traffic to their website. But I'm tired of seeing stuff that's like a week old, 2 weeks old. Like, I missed it. And I'm like, why is this showing up? Or stuff that I saw already and I didn't like or comment on. Like, it's like they're trying to force me to. They're like, no, you're going to say, like, you're going to engage with.
Better click the like button.
Or we're going to show it to you for 6 months. No, I'm good. And I'm missing stuff that I really need to see.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I think it is, real quick, guys, that there's many people on it now. There's all avenues, from fitness trainers to everything. It's getting bombarded. And if you like one thing, we can't get that straight lane of like staffing, recruiting anymore. It's just above everybody,
I didn't think about that, because what you're clicking, the same thing as Facebook. When you start talking, like Alexa's down here, your phones. You know, we're going to hear something on LinkedIn. It's going to come on your phone, emails, everything. But maybe that's possibly when you think about that, like you said, if you click all the time recruiting or you click every certain things, that's what they're going to start feeding you. I don't know. You know.
So last thing, and this is a good link. I want to end on a positive LinkedIn note.
All right, let's end on a positive.
I do pay attention to who views my profile. I mean, I pay for it, so I'm going to do it. And like what words they're searching to find me. And I just want to give a shout out to whoever was looking for a magician
Mimi.
and found your girl Mimi.
A magician.
Yes, it's like you showed up and it's always recruiter, defense coach, and then it's like magician. I was like, hell yeah.
Mimi, I don't know all those names.
Anything can happen.
Shout out to the person looking for a magician. I'm here for you.
All right, that's a great show this morning. This is a good discussion because like you said, I picked up a couple different things that you said that makes sense, Richard, about that, what you're liking.
Mm-hmm.
That could be it's going to come back to you now. Like you said, 2 to 3 days later, whereas my connection's gone because maybe I haven't clicked on them in a while and I just read their stuff. I don't know. But we'll see where it goes.
The whirlwind, right? It's the whirlwind, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, great show. It's going to be some, I don't know how the weather is going to be in Pennsylvania, but it's going to be, in the 70s this weekend. So,
perfect fall weather. You know what that means, right? Pumpkin beer, apples. It's getting that time.
All right.
22nd. Shout out to the Virgo new moon tonight.
Virgo. All right.
Everybody have a great day. And remember, love each other so you can love other people.
That's right. And we never know what Richard, my favorite saying is we're going to end it now because we don't want Richard to stand up.
My
Here he goes.